Hi, my name's Jessica. Welcome back to your Fit in 15. Today we'll be doing a yoga segment for shoulder opening. So if your shoulders are really tight, maybe from sitting for long periods of time at the computer, or if you travel a lot on an airplane or in car and in traffic, this is a good way to just start to really open up your shoulders and find some freedom, as sometimes they start to feel sort of stuck. Especially if you have any repetitive stress injuries, if you do things with your hands in your daily life, if you do a lot of repetitive movements, then sometimes your shoulders, your arms tend to feel a little achy and you might be experiencing some chronic pain. So this is a good way to help remedy that. Today we'll need a few props. You'll need one yoga block or at least something to prop your hips up with, and you'll also need a strap or a towel. I have this funky infinity strap, but any type of strap will do. And again, you can use just a kitchen towel as well. All right, so let's get started. First, we're gonna do some wrist prep. So you're gonna first start by bringing your palms down to the floor, spread through your fingers. And you could just come into a box pose, just bring your knees down to the floor. And you're gonna start to scrub your fingers into the mat. So you're grounding down through your first knuckle and you're lifting your second knuckle. So it's like you have a sheet of paper and you're trying to scrunch it up between your hands underneath. So you're gonna do that about 10 times. Really feel that engagement of the fingers. For last 3, 2, and 1. Release your fingers down, and you're going to start to shift your weight from one palm into the other and start to turn your fingers all the way around, moving them continuously in a circular motion until all 10 fingers are facing your knees. Once you get there, again, spread through your fingers, keep the heel of your palm grounded, try not to let it pop up, you want to keep it down, and then take tiny little circles. And if you're experiencing any pain, then please back off. If it's just sort of a discomfort, then that's okay. You might just want to work through it if you have some tightness, and then start to move the other direction. So just warming up the wrists. If you do a lot of typing, if you're on your keyboard all day or texting on your phone, this is great too. All right, then start to slowly peel your palms up. So you want to continue to feel that stretch all the way through your wrists, your hands, your fingers, and then come to seated and shake them out. And we're going to come back down to the floor with our hands. Now this time, start by turning your right palm facing down to the floor. And try not to hyperextend your thumb. Keep your thumb sort of in towards your palm and spin the inner eye of your elbow forwards. So don't have it back, spin it forwards. And that right there might be enough stretch for you, so maybe you just hold and breathe into that. If you want to take a few circles around, you can do that. It might create a little bit more stretch to the top of the hand. And maybe lean back a little bit. Bring your right palm to the floor. We'll flip our left palm over. So again, top of the hand is down. Try not to hyperextend your thumb. You want to bring it in and spin the inner eye of the elbow forward. Right, shoulders down and back, and take a few circles around. And feeling that stretch through the wrist, through the top of the hand. And everything is connected in our bodies. So if we have issues with our shoulder, it might also extend down into our other joints like our elbows and our wrists. Go a few directions the other way. Maybe lean back a little bit if that feels okay. And then release. Take both hands down to the floor. Now stay in your box pose on all fours. We'll start with a shoulder stretch. So as you inhale, reach your left arm up, gaze up at your fingertips, open up your chest. And as you exhale, we're gonna thread the needle, bringing your left shoulder down to the floor. Bring your left ear down and just pause here. So this is a good way to start to find some scapular mobility. It's a little bit of a twist. And if you'd like to add on, maybe extend your right arm forward. Maybe take your right leg out to the side. If you want a little balance, you can hover it if you want to get fancy. But more importantly, it's really just about that nice gentle stretch in the shoulder. And breathe. One more full deep breath. Now to come out, if you have your leg to the side, bend your knee back in. Stabilize with your right palm. As you inhale, reach your left arm up, open up your chest again, stack your shoulders. and then bring your left hand to the floor. Let's do the other side. As you inhale, reach your right arm up. So find just a pause here so you can stack your shoulders and feel that expansion across the chest. And then start to thread the needle. Right arm goes underneath, setting your right shoulder blade down to the floor. Now you can take your left hand a little bit more forward. Maybe extend your left leg out to the side. Maybe hover it in the air. Again, if you want to get fancy, not required. And breathe. And just feel that right shoulder blade melting down into the mat. And enjoy that nice twist in your spine as well, just kind of wringing things out. It's especially helpful to start to find some opening, some space between the vertebra in your thoracic spine or your mid-back. So a lot of shoulder tension and tightness can come from that area as well. All right, let's release. So set your left knee down gently on the floor. Bring your left palm back, set it down. As you inhale, reach your right arm up. And as you exhale, set your hand down to the floor. From here, we'll curl our toes under, lift your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Now, if you can straighten your legs, do, but it's not required. So if you have really tight lower back, tight hamstrings, your knees may be bent, right? If you feel a little bit more open, you can straighten your legs. But the goal is to keep your tailbone lifting high rather than rounding your back to make it work. So I'd rather you have bent knees if you need. And downward facing dog is also a great shoulder opener, so you can push your hands into the floor and push the mat away from you and really feel that stretch all the way from your shoulder, through your armpit, down to your shoulder blade. And as you inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, take a step with the right foot, followed by the left foot. Feet are hip width apart. And we're going to find a forward fold. Keep a bend in your knees. Take your hands behind your back, interlace. Now you are welcome to use a strap here if you're really tight in the shoulders. If you can bring your hands together, make sure that the heels of your palms are together. And if you need to keep your elbows bent, please do. And we're going to start to forward fold. And as much as you can, try to punch your knuckles up and overhead. Just breathe into it. This stretch tends to be pretty intense, so be patient with yourself. Relax the crown of your head down towards the floor and maybe shake your head yes and no. Make sure you have no tension in your head or neck. As you inhale, release your hands, lift your chest, lengthen, look forward. And as you exhale, we're going to fold again, bind your hands again. This time your opposite thumb is on top, or maybe you catch your strap with the opposite grip and begin to fold. Heels of the palms are pressing together. It's okay to keep your elbows bent. It's okay to keep your knees bent. And breathe into it. Try to find some ease to create that space. And you might even notice that after maybe a couple of breaths, you can get a little bit deeper into the pose. Again, shake your head yes, shake your head no. Maybe open up your jaw. And release. Inhale, lift your chest, lengthen your spine, look forward. As you exhale, set your hands down, bring your knees down to the floor. So now we're going to do dolphin pose. It's kind of like downward facing dog, but we're on our forearms. And this is a really intense shoulder stretch, but I love this one so much. It's such a good way to open up our shoulders, chest, armpits, gets into the pecs muscles as well. So bring your elbows down to the floor, and your hands can be shoulder width apart, or if your shoulders are really big and muscly and tight, you can bring your palms together or interlace your fingers. I'm going to make a number 11 with mine. Now curl your toes under. Lift your hips up and back, and you're going to push the mat away from you with your elbows, with your palms. And again, your hips are lifting high, just like in downward facing dog. Your head and neck are completely relaxed. And you want to make sure that your feet aren't way back here because you won't get very much of a stretch. So you want to walk your toes in as much as you can. And again, knees may still be bent a little bit here, but if you can, straighten out your legs and then send your heels just a little closer towards the floor. 2 more breaths. Breathing in and out through your nose. And release. Come on down. Shake out your shoulders. Do a few shoulder rolls. Maybe roll your neck around if you need to. And just enjoy that freedom that you're starting to create. All right, so next, we're going to come to seated. Now, I prefer to grab a block here. You're just going to sit on the very, very edge of the block so your hips are higher than your knees. So I'm going to place the block down just like that. And I'm going to have a seat on the very edge. And I'm just going to come into a comfortable seated position. So cross-legged, seated pose, or if you have anything else that you prefer to take, that's fine too. So roll your shoulders down and back. As you inhale, reach your arms out and up. Press your palms at the top. And as you exhale, cactus your arms. All right, so we're gonna find, it's called eagle pose, but just in the upper body. You're gonna take your right elbow underneath your left. And if you can, bring your palms together. Now, if this is not really accessible for you, if you have tight shoulders, you can just give yourself a little hug, right? And I'm gonna come back into it. Now the goal here is to feel the stretch between the shoulder blades. So you want to feel your scapula drawing apart from one another. So lift your elbows up and reach your fingertips forward, and I really feel that stretch right there. So hold, breathe into it. And draw your shoulders down your back away from your ears at the same time. Try not to wear them as earrings. And let's release into the other side. So inhale, take your arms out and up, press your palms at the top. As you exhale, cactus your arms again, bend your elbows out to the side. This time it's the left elbow underneath the right elbow. Bring your palms together or give yourself that hug. Now once you get there, lift your elbows up, reach your fingertips forward, feel that stretch between your shoulder blades, and breathe. And have a soft gaze, just kind of at your forearms like you're looking past them and your vision becomes a little blurry. It's just a way to focus and ease the mind. Try your shoulders down and back away from your ears. And release. Come on out, shake out your shoulders. As you inhale, reach your arms out and up. And as you exhale, you're going to bend your right elbow and drop your right hand behind your back. And you're just going to give your elbow a little tug over with your left hand so that you feel that stretch to the tricep, the armpit, all the way down to the shoulder blade. And careful not to have computer neck here, so pull your head back into your arm, slight tuck of your chin. Now this is called Gomukhasana arms. If you want to go for the full bind, your other hand is going to wrap around behind you. And you may grab onto your towel or strap here with your top hand. You can drop it behind your back. Take your left hand around. You're going to bend your elbow and walk it up your back until you catch on to the strap, or you can interlace your fingers if that's accessible to you. Then once you've got that, you're going to really open up your chest here, lifting your top elbow up towards the sky, pulling your head back into your arm. It's kind of like a little cradled position for your head, and breathe. And let's release and do the other side. Shake out your shoulders if you need to. Reach your left arm up, bend your elbow. Take your right hand to the top of your left elbow and just give it a nice little tug over. Feel that stretch in your armpit, your tricep, your shoulder blade. And maybe catch your strap if you need to on this side. You're going to take your right hand back, internally rotate the arm, bend your elbow, and walk your hand up your back. Catch onto your strap or interlace your fingers if that's accessible for you. And once you've got that, really lift that left elbow up towards the sky, press your head back into your arms, and breathe. Whew, that one can be really intense. So shrug out your shoulders again. And that's it. Thank you so much. Namaste.